hello there. Good to see you all in the chat. Drowsy and Cocoa Cookie, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being members. Agent Miles and Joy and friends, welcome to the chat, just for no reason. Good to see you guys. Yes, Junior Researcher Sally. We had a cancellation of one of our tests for the afternoon/evening. You set up your schedule for the tests for the day, and sometimes the D class you have in alignment for the tests, well, sometimes they perish, unfortunately and untimely, in a previous experiment. So I thought it was going to be safe and that this D class would be able to do multiple tests in one day. Didn't turn out that way. So we're back. We're back for a very short time. Just about 35 minutes from now, but hey, if I'm killing time, I might as well kill time with you guys, right? Sheeny and Amber, good to see you in the chat. That explains it. What test was it, if I can ask? Let me go back in the database real quick. In today's testing schedule, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Oh, no, please, datapad. This thing's been messing with me all day. I'm really gonna need to get a new one soon. You'd think we'd have a better tech budget, wouldn't ya? Wouldn't ya? Oh, no. Let's pull up the duty roster for the day, please. I swear, sometimes it's 079 and not my actual data pad. Oh, I see what happened. So, my D class for today's 4521 test was supposed to have a simple test with SCP-131, i.e. the iPods. They were supposed to go in there, do some physical tests with the iPods, and come out. You would think nothing was gonna happen. And you'd be right if you thought that nothing happened with the iPods, because nothing happened with the iPods. What happened was, during this interaction, there was a breach of SCP-106, and this containment lab where the D class and 131 were interacting was the easiest and closest D class to pull out of testing and go to the femur breaker. So, unfortunately, that D class, with honor and everything, but I didn't get to utilize that D class for my testing this afternoon. Redistribution of resources. I'm annoyed, but you can't really be that mad. It's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Or the D class's femur crumbles. Anyways, I get to spend a little extra time with you guys, so that doesn't hurt. Oh, Dreamscape Traveler, thank you for being the first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a croissant on your way past the commissary. Hello all, hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Well, yes, everyone is having a wonderful day except for D7579. But in the great scheme of things, everyone who gets to live because of their brave sacrifice is doing great. So that's what matters. Yeah, that sounds normal. Yep, unfortunately, we can't stop everything. We're dealing with very volatile anomalies, but you know what? At the end of the day, I think we do a pretty good job for the limited resources we work under. Did you know that you were mentioned in the SCP-7777 article? Yes, as a matter of fact, I do know that I made a cameo in SCP-7777. That cameo is Yossi, specifically the author of SCP-8980, by the way. Yossi also wrote 7777 and asked me if they could use me for a joke in there. And I thought it was a pretty good joke, so I appreciate my turn in that one. And if you look in the description, the discussion, you will find also the fact that my train of thought has gone out of the station. You will find me making jokes about essentially me in that article being Mr. Green from Clue. I told you I didn't do it! And so that's pretty funny. Sheeny, thank you for your first donation to this stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cruller at the commissary. At least hanging out with us doesn't hurt like the femur breaker anyway. Amen that. Although some of you make a close of it. Tony Macaroni, nice makeup. Were you born a male? This is my entire complexion. This is au naturel, baby boy. Now, I do have that Irish blood, so I do rouge like crazy, but that's just that. Seriously, weirdos in the chat, what are you gonna do? Dr. Sherman, SCP-169 is now awake and in a maid outfit with cat ears. How did you put a giant sea cockroach into the cat maid waifu dimension in the first place? The logistics alone are incredible. Like literally incredible, not just like, oh, that's cool. It is uncredible. I don't believe you. I think you are fooling with me is what that is. Edward, good to see you in the chat. Weirdos, I resemble that remark. The 7 series contest is the luck theme. Yes, that's correct. And so the 7,000 contest was luck-based, which is why we have Initiative, SCP-7006, which is the D&D game disguised as an SCP. You've got 7777, which is based on luck. You have a lot of different deities and lucky objects. And of course, you've got SCP-7000, which is the terrible luck of one Dr. William Weddle. Desk, good to see you in the chat for a short time. Everyone pay attention. If at the end of this stream, which ends in 30 minutes for this coffee break, if you want some more action, Desk is doing a stream after me and, ooh, it's gonna have a special guest. You should look forward to that and go over to the Desk SCP on Twitch after this stream and see what happens. Alois, does the Black Moon howl? Well, only if it's in need of walkies. Onimask Productions, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. What would happen if SCP-096... Oh, don't forget to grab yourself a latte on your way past the commissary. What would happen if SCP-096 was observed by someone that is not in the same reality or dimension and out of its physical reach? So, if there is no opening to that dimension, then 096 will have a panic attack in place and even might get to the point like 682 where it gives up. But the odds that someone outside of our universe can see 096 designates the idea that there must be some sort of tunnel to and from. And so if 096 can sense a way to that dimension, it will beeline through that door and to the offending viewer. That's why we don't store 096 in 3008, because if anyone from our dimension saw 096's face, 096 would have a perfect mental map to the door to our universe to that person. So that only works as long as there is literally no way for 096 to get through that gate. And honestly, I bet even if 096 gave up, if later on the door opened, 096 would be right back on the attack. That would be my guess. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. Shout out fellow Irish. Good thing we're usually inside because those sunburns are no joke. Indubitably. Yes. I have a little bit of Italian in me, so I do tan a little bit, but I have turned lobster way more time than I care to admit. Dihydrogen monoxide. Thank you for being a member, and there's your membership message. Can researchers with PTSD or CPTSD request to be amnesticized in order to cure their mental health problem? Yes! Yes, that happens all the time. In fact, we have to be a little careful with it because amnestic abuse is a big problem among Foundation researchers, and it can lead to other symptoms. So, Yes, it is allowed, but we got to monitor it very closely. Medical / the on-site therapist can help you with that. Is there an SCP already called SCP-1332? I'm going to place a 95% chance the answer is yes. And I will do you the favor of looking regardless at what 1332 is. And while that loads on my slow frickin' data pad, Charlie, what? And here I was dealing with my illness with therapy? Hey, if it's mild enough you can get away with that, it's worth it. You don't want to get addicted to the amnestics. That is a hard road, let me tell you. 1332 is involuntary shapeshifting. In its culture state, designated 1332-A, SCP-1332 is a thick metallic gray paste, similar in color and sheen to mercury. Its semi-solid state renders airborne transmission impossible. To date, all instances of infection have resulted from direct, unprotected handling of 1332-A, or injuries caused by unusually violent instances of 1332-B and -C. When a living being becomes infected with 1332, usually through direct exposure to subcutaneous tissue via cuts and scrapes, it begins the transformation to SCP-1332-B. This transformation manifests externally as flu-like symptoms that subside over the course of 2 to 3 days. The bone and muscular structure turn into an amorphous mass, superficially resembling 1332-A. Despite being essentially homogeneous, the mass within 1332-B still performs all the functions of the replaced system, such as maintaining structure, allowing movement and reflexive actions, and protecting vulnerable organs from damage. And then it turns into either death, or if it survives, well, it might survive 2 to 3 days. But okay, it turns you into weird liquid mercury. So yeah, if that's what you were interested in, that number does exist. Doctor, how do you feel about the Dr. Pepper man? You know, the guy who shows up in random live streams, rather they be in Japan or the US, to give people a Dr. Pepper. Well, I'm a little mad at the guy, because as a Dr. Pepper stan, the fact that I stream every day and Dr. Pepper Man has not arrived is a criminal offense, and if there was going to be any preferential treatment for me to not contain an anomaly such as that, it is losing that grace very quickly by not hooking a brother up. Ooh, don't fall. Don't fall. Dark Red, oh my god, hello, I thought I missed the stream for the day. You did miss the stream for the day, but then we got a second stream. Have you thought about second breakfast? Turns out we had a surprise extra break, so I came back, just for a little bit. Y'all, chat, you do know that the SCP Wiki exists, and that if you have a question of does this number exist, you can go look. Asking me if a number is already taken is a useless use of your limited questions that you can ask me, because it is already all on the database. You can look that up immediately. Is there any way to join the site, preferably as a test subject for safe objects? Well, Caroline, you simply must subscribe to Site-42 to join the Site-42 staff, or set yourself up at any SCP site that's available. But remember, if you can see this stream, that means that you are already a member of the SCP Foundation. We don't broadcast to civilians. That would break the masquerade, the veil of secrecy. We want them to live in the light, and that's why we die in the dark. So if you're here, you're family. Dr. Sherman, I've fallen in love with a woman from my cover job. No affiliation to the Foundation as far as I know. I'm also an anomalous human, so this complicates things even further. What the hell do I do? Very simply, you suck it up. Because obviously, we do not bring civilians into the Foundation lightly. And so unless your potential boo is someone who could work for the Foundation, you're just gonna need to cut that off. I mean, come on, obviously. How is garlic bread not considered anomalous? Well, Feels, thank you for being a member here at Site 42, but garlic bread is just the application of garlic, butter, maybe some spices, and bread. I see nothing anomalous about this meal. Knox, greetings, Dr. Sherman. Do the its pronouns rule apply to anomalous staff asking for a friend? If an anomaly is recruited to work for the Foundation, as rare as that is, although it's seemingly as common as ever these days, then they do get the benefit of being allowed to use humanizing pronouns. It's a rarity, but it does exist. And you know, in these streams, it's going to be more common than the general populace because getting the anomalous staff in line is an important thing to make sure of. Ghidorah, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for your subscription. Dr. Sherman, I have a question. What would happen if you shined the world's strongest flashlight into the endless staircase? Well, the question becomes, how powerful is the strongest flashlight? How far does it shine, distance-wise? And what do you get when you shine a bright, bright light into darkness, infinite darkness? You just get darkness. So it's not like we're going to see the bottom of the staircase. As far as we know, there isn't one. So even if you light up the blackness, there's still blackness. We'd probably see more stairs on either side of the downhole, but the downhole itself is still the black downhole. Let me fix something real quick. That's why I'm seeing so many duplicates. I forgot slow mode because this is a random extra stream and I wasn't thinking. That'll make my life a little bit easier. Live 2 of asking for perms to fraternize with the plague doctor. Aaron, what do you think my answer is going to be? Obviously not. Shut that down. Fraternizing with the anomalies is against protocol. Suck it up. Dr. Sherman, are you acquainted with Murphy Lawden? Cool man. Murphy Lawden is freaking fantastic. I've never gotten to hang out with the guy myself. And, you know, honestly, Murphy Lawden is not actually that cool. Just a nebbish little author, not interested. But Murphy Law, his secret identity, yes, that's the good stuff. Murphy Law is amazing. Mimikyu, remember we do not talk about a certain SCP doctor who shall not be named in this chat. That's a very small punishment for that, because you might not have known the rule, but keep tabs on it, because the more you do it, the more that happens. How many decades old are you, mate? Well, that depends on what canon you're looking at, and that depends on what life-extending anomalies I've been exposed to as part of my work in the Foundation. It's hard to say. Where do you find the rules? The chat rules should be available pretty clearly. Oh Lord, Desk, I timed them out for a minute, just as a small punishment. We didn't need to nuke them. Oh no. Mimikyu, I'll see you next stream. And don't ask about Bruno again. Whoops. Theoretically speaking, if I breach to prevent something else from breaching, would I still get in trouble? Theoretically, of course. I guess if it was in the line of saving Foundation staff's lives, it might not be an issue. Now, if we find out that you set up the problem yourself, then it's going to be a real issue. Hey, remember the 4 pixels incident? Gaster, how could we forget? That's the only thing anyone talks about in public about the Foundation. What's with the big clock in the background? Well, don't you want to know what time it is? It's important to keep track, especially since we are 15 minutes from the end of this stream. And so, if you want to get your questions answered, this is the last 15 minutes of it. What would you say is the most important rule of the Foundation, Dr. Sherman? Probably rule 0. Don't be a dick. Desk's stream is about to start. So, after we end ours, you'll have Desk and Desk's special guest ready for a pickup stream. So remember, the Desk SCP on Twitch for the secondary stream. I love how the Foundation has no headcanon since anything is canon. Random Fandom, you got that right. There is no canon, therefore everything is canon. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for what I believe might be your first donation to this stream. Even though you were here earlier, you donated to this one, so you get another cup of joe on your way past the commissary. We do not talk about Dr. Redacted. There is not and was never a Dr. Redacted. Anyone who claims to remember said doctor is to report to on-site medical immediately for a dose of Class A amnestics. Indeed, that is good. What's the drama with the other doctor? Amy, if you want to know why we do not talk about that particular doctor, on this YouTube channel, there's a video called The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright. It is my explanation, my surface level explanation about why we don't talk about him here at Site 42. And then if you want deeper details, there's also links in that video to Dr. Cimmerian's YouTube channel. He's done several videos on the depths of the subject, so that is going to be better. And so you can get all the information there. Wait, Dr. Sherman, what if a civilian accidentally joins stream? Well, that would never happen. Our back channels with Alphabet are too good. So no civilian is ever going to see this stream unless they exist in a universe where the masquerade is broken, and therefore they are going to, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Come to me for Foundation education in a world where everyone knows about anomalies. Give me 1 second. I think a civilian might be on my stakeout point right now. Give me 1 moment. I need to clear this up. All right, had to shoo away a civilian. I'm back. Oh, chat went flying while I was gone. Jax, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a saltwater taffy on your way past the commissary. New to SCP, your favorite SCPs that I should start with? So, I always say my favorite SCPs at the end of stream, which is in 10 minutes. So if you can hold on for 10 minutes, I'll list all my favorite SCPs in order. You know what? You donated. I'll just do those real quick. So, favorite SCPs, we'll do them early. Here we go. 3999, 3043, 008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, and 8980 with a huge content warning. That one's rough. One more time through. 3999, 3043, 008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, and 8980. Now, the deal is, those are all favorites of a member of the community who's been here for 10 years now, Jesus. 12 years since I joined the community, 10 years since I started YouTubing it. And so, my taste in the wiki is a little bit more complex. I don't really vibe with the simple articles as much. But they are pretty fun articles anyway. There's a reason they're my favorite. So read them and see what you like. And hey, there's also a great list on the sidebar of the wiki called it's called Curated Lists. And the curated lists is basically SCP recommendations from different SCP authors. So if there's someone whose taste you vibe with, that's a good place to start, because you know if you like that person and their taste in art, you might vibe with it. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. SCP-729-J. You don't even have a coffee, you monster. Okay, fine. I'm just gonna deal with that taste in my mouth for the rest of stream, thank you. Jesus Christ. Specifically, grilled cheeses is who I'm praying to. The combination of bread Jesus and cheese Jesus, or cheeses. Drew, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a holy grilled cheeses on your way past the commissary. Do you think therapy would help 096 Shy Guy be less shy? In most universes, the answer is no. In most universes, the answer is no, because as far as we know, 096 is barely sentient, let alone sapient. So not much going on up there to therapize. But in some rare universes, we have found success with the book Overcoming Shyness that we got from the Tenda village. And in those universes where we were able to help 096 pass the shyness, it ended up becoming a TikTok influencer and doing TikTok dances. Honestly, I don't know which one's worse. Honestly, yes, I know the murder one is worse than the non-murder one. So, that. Random Fandom, what's your favorite non-SCP related game? Earthbound is number one. I'm a very stereotypical theater kid and YouTuber. Earthbound, obviously. Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars is second. Coming to modern gaming, I'm a big fan of the BioShock series. BioShock Infinite was really fun, even if the story didn't vibe exactly like most people thought it was. Control is great, even as a basically SCP game. See anything else I missed here? Because we are 8 minutes until end of stream. 8 minutes until end of stream. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Just to say 343-J? What is SCP-343-J? I'm not actually familiar with that one. 343-J is an opened 284 milliliter aluminum soup can containing 13 common earthworms. 343-J appears to operate as a single sapient organism capable of high-pitched nasal speech. The cafeteria food here can go straight to hell. I don't know, this barbecue sauce is on point. Excuse me. The sauce, yeah, but the meat tastes like styrofoam. Probably is styrofoam now I think about, are those worms? Hell doesn't exist. He means the food is bad, not that it could literally go to Nope, nope, can't go to hell. Hell doesn't exist. Heaven doesn't exist either. No scientific evidence. God doesn't exist. Evolution is real. The fact that you would wish eternal damnation on anyone speaks volumes about whether or not you're a good person. Those are facts. I don't make the rules. Interesting. Weird. Okay. A know-it-all can of earthworms. Interesting. Kaga, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself an apple cider on your way past the commissary. But like a fresh squeezed one that's really bougie and good. Mobile Task Force Alpha 9 destination, The Last Hope, has landed on Helipad 1. O5 Council is landing on Helipad 2. Remember to give them a warm welcome, and if I don't see you, good evening, good morning, and good night. Oh, little Truman Show there, nice. So, I will keep an eye on the helipads. I did not know they had a visit here. I hope nothing's going wrong, especially for me. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. How would 682 react to 729-J again? Why? What is your fascination with that thing? Oh my... Listen. I am not certain off the top of my head that 729-J was not already tested with 682. I'm pretty sure that happened at some point. Yes, we already did that. And the answer is data expunged. Long story short, we reclassified 682 as neutralized. You don't even want to fucking know how that little fucker killed it. So yes, the answer is 729 defeated 682. Sorry, 729-J. What, in your opinion, is the worst SCP? Well, Drew James, thank you for donating again. I would love to say that as an artist, I don't dislike any SCPs. I think SCPs are wonderful, and even if it's not a good SCP, someone worked hard to write it, and so they did their best, and you should appreciate what's good about it, even if it's not to your taste. That being said, SCP-729-J can fucking die, and 022-J, anyone infected with it, can get slapped in the head with a pair of titanium tits. So, yes, those are high on my list of I don't care for those anomalies. Jax, thank you for donating again. SCP-5031 is my favorite so far. Search it up, bye. Well, yes, 5031 is a wonderful and wholesome anomaly. And so everybody should like that one. Yes, -J stands for joke. It is for SCPs that are jokes about the wiki. They are more meta than normal funny anomalies. Okay, cool. I'm getting word from Desk that their stream is starting now, and our stream is ending with 3 minutes. So remember, when we're done, you can go hang out with the Desk SCP and their super secret guest. Trust me, for those of you who enjoy anomalies from the SCP Wiki, you will probably be interested. Are any SCPs trans? Julesy, I can't name one off the top of my head. I know 4051 in the lore, not in its initial article, but 4051 became non-binary eventually. 6113 is an entity that turns people trans, and so there's a lot of people trans in there. And 113 is the rock that transes your gender, so those help out with that. There are a lot of LGBTQ themed SCPs. Obviously, it's an arts community, so you're going to get a lot of LGBTQ representation is the word I wanted. But especially look in the corners of articles for the different LGBTQ flags, because different authors like to rep their pride in response to chuds who complain that we've gone woke. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. 729-G. Why are you so fascinated with the thing? can just become the new 110 Montauk? Okay, at least I agree with that. Chris the Dire Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. SCP-005-J. Why are you just naming -Js? How peculiar. At least give a guy a little context of what I'm getting into here. What the hell? Oh, that's what 005-J is. Okay, I can't talk about that on stream. That is way too classified for me to be talking about if there's a risk that an overseer will show up. So we'll just roll with that one. It's a good anomaly. Drew, thank you for donating again. Which SCP do you think you could win a fight with? You know, I think I could beat every SCP in a fight with proper prep time, except for Radiger. Radiger scares me. Kaga, thank you for donating again. Bad news, there's a black hole in the cafeteria. No, my cupcakes! Oh, I hope they clear that up soon. Samuel, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself something quick from the commissary, jeez. 2722 is active, by the way. I may have visited unauthorized and reactivated it. Now it's in the process of rebuilding itself. Okay, well, I've got to go because it's the end of stream, so I'm going to shut that down. You shouldn't have done that, but I'll go fix it. Agent Miles, is Radiger an SCP? They're definitely anomalous in some way or another. I know that they are staff, but there is something about them. I'm not sure what it is yet. We haven't figured it out. All I know is that Agent Radiger is not Agent Radiger. Radiger, the content creator, is just built different. Okay, so I've got to come. I've already told you my favorite SCPs. I've got to go. I've got to go. Don't clip that. I said the wrong one. Ignore me. I've got to go. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating. I will move the hypercube later. The Rocky, thank you for subscribing. Green Bottle, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go grab yourself some Haagen-Dazs at the commissary before the black hole eats it all. What are your opinion on 2085, also known as Black Rabbit Company, and if you haven't read it, I do recommend it. I will have to check it out because I gotta go, is what I meant to say. Cerberus, I have to go. That's what I meant. What is Desk Stream? You'll know when you get there. The Desk SCP on Twitch. Go over there. Having a special guest, you will be surprised. Oh God, the whole chat is mocking me now. Jesus, no Dark Red. The credit song is still going. I said my favorite SCP, so I gotta go. We're jumping straight to the credit song. So I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next stream. Na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. Wouldn't it be great if no one ever got offended? Wouldn't it be great to say what's really on your mind? I've always said all the rules are made for bending, and if I let my hair down, would that be such a crime? I wanna be consequence-free. I wanna be where nothing needs to matter. I wanna be consequence-free. Just say na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. Now go visit Desk Stream. Go raid. Tell them Dr. Sherman wants the desk finally waxed as your code phrase. Dr. Sherman wants the desk finally waxed. And it's only on Twitch.